big warm welcome to all of you to this 6th edition 2013 of the St.Moritz Art Masters. Thank you very much for coming up and joining us. And basically, we don't want to have a boring press conference, but just give you some quick information to enjoy and experience as well all the art shows that you will find inside the hotels and outside with a big dialogue with the nature of the Valley of Engadin. And first of all, we have to thank to the main sponsor of St.Moritz Art Masters that are actually this year Cartier and Mercedes-Benz that made it possible. And this is the Posthaus, the place of Mercedes that will be available for the art talks and for meetings for the next 10 days. This edition of St.Moritz Art Masters start today and will end next Sunday, September 1st. The other sponsors that made it possible this year are Leica, Pirelli, Shanti Hospitality, AMG, Roger Dubois, all the 5 stars hotel of St. Moritz, the tourist board Engadin St. Moritz, and of course the city of St. Moritz that made it possible. And let me underline it, free, because every show is for free and everybody can join it. And right now we have to tell that the focus of this year is China. Last year were Brazil. This year is entirely focused on China. We have here all the protagonists, all the people that made it possible. So first of all, Rainer Opoku, that is the curator of St. Moritz Art Masters since the first edition. Sylvie Seidlitz, the curator of China. Yang Shu, the Organhaus China. Dr. Uli Sieg, collector and curator of the China exhibition. Amedeo Turello, that is the curator of the photo section that will be on air the next weekend. No, it's already available, but all the talks, and we'll talk with him later. Christina Beckler, that is here with us, is the founder of EAT, the Engadin Art Talks. Evelyn Fasser-Testa, that is the managing director of St. Moritz Art Masters. She works all the year for this astonishing event. Last but not least, Monty Shadow, the founder of St. Moritz Art Masters. Monty, please stand up.
Fortunately or unfortunately, we started 6 years ago, and thanks to you, we've really come to one very special, platform, which is reality, realtà. I want to, just before when I start talking about the incredible China, don't worry, I don't talk too long, and say welcome to one of the greatest violinists and artists and musicians in the world, Xinjin, Lu Xinjin. He is a flag and the bandera of the Chinese government anywhere when they go around the world, but you can see on the web and Google him and you will be very impressed. And all you, I don't know what to say more, to thank you, really give us support and energy, and thanks to all my curator, Rainer, Amadeo, and you can see the one of the most fascinating supported exhibition by Leica and Pirelli, and you will be really surprised this year with what they put together. I don't know what to really say more, and I give everything to Rainer, who is the man of the culture, art, and quality, and that's for me the real luxury. Because people play a lot about luxury, but art, culture, and quality, this is really the quality. Cartier, thank you very much. The Mercedes, thank you very much. And everybody who've been like Pirelli, that's already been mentioned by Giacomo. And enjoy it next 9-10 days of this great, end of summer. Thank you.
Thank you, Monty. Now we have the chance to give you some basic but fundamental information regarding the shows. And Rainer, let's start with the China and with the Focus China. Which are the main highlights of the Chinese exhibition?
Yeah, first of all, welcome to everyone. Many faces I've seen before, many new faces. In this kind of process of developing the Art Masters, we had to go we have to look for different directions. And we decided a year ago that we should have a certain focus where people can refer to beside all the activities which are happening around. So we see the Art Masters, first of all, as a platform which is quite open to all sources of culture and creativity which we want to embed in this festival. And this region already gives a lot of cultural background and has a lot of players involved, people who live here, people who work here, galleries, collectors, artists who come here. Traditionally, it's a valley which has a strong cultural background. So focusing on China this year was quite easy because this quite small country, Switzerland, has a very strong cultural related society towards China. You wonder, but you have the most important person actually for the whole development of Chinese art in the world is Uli Sieg, because he was the one who started in the early 90s to promote Chinese art, who was one of the first ones who collected Chinese art and brought it to us, to the Western world. And then you have someone like Urs Meile, one of the most, let's say, engaged galleries I know, who is not only looking for the commercial side of it, but also of the ambassador side of bringing certain cultures into different cultures. So he brings Chinese culture to Europe and the other way around. So if you have these two people in a small country, as I said, like Switzerland, it makes it quite easy to create a concept. So first thing we did, we spoke to both of them and we created a kind of idea where we want to go from. So the idea was we wanted to have some of the, let's say, very known and established artists involved that we have by having someone like Ai Weiwei, having someone like Xiao Fan, having someone like Fang Lijun. So that was the base. Then we wanted to identify some new tendencies. And that we did through Sylvie Seidlitz and her network, plus Organ House, which is an organization in the Sichuan region, who has a, let's say, a very wide angle to access to younger and upcoming Chinese artists. So they curated an exhibition for us. So we were looking for about 10, 15 different artists from China which we could present in the Art Master. And I think we succeeded by the shows we all will go to see very soon.
What about this afternoon? At 3 o'clock, 3 a.m., 3 p.m., sorry, there will be the first art talk. There will be many art talks during the St. Moritz Art Masters. The first one is today, here at the Posthaus Mercedes-Benz. And it's, of course, regarding China, with Gerard Goudreau and Dr. Uli Sieg.
And Urs Meile as well.
Of course. Let's talk about probably the most famous Ai Weiwei.
Yeah.
There's a huge tree here.
Yeah, we let's say we succeeded to, first of all, I mean, the challenge was enormous. It's the biggest exhibition we ever did since 6 years. It is the most complicated because it's about 99 pieces, 7 tons, 9 meters, huge challenge to logistic-wise, but also to get it into the church. You know, we had just 4 centimeters on certain parts of the sculpture. But it's also about having him involved is, again, also a statement from us, because we have no barriers, no boundaries. When you talk about art, we talk about the freeness of the art. And I believe in that very much. So we have no limits. We want to do things which make sense. And to bring this tree and to give him also a platform here in Switzerland, besides the fact that he has been here, he knows the Engadin, and he loves it. This project is one of our, let's say, biggest challenges we had. And the work itself is referred, or is, let's say, developed out of former projects he did, where he was working on trees, adjusted trees from trees he finds in his region, and adjusts them to a new tree. So that means also to create new life. And this is the first one he did in iron, and it is obviously looks much different than the wooden ones, and so that's what we're showing you.
Anyway, trust us, it's amazing. It's right here in the Protestant church. You can join it after this conference. Then again, there will be an exhibition created by Uli Sig.
Yes, this exhibition, sorry to interrupt. I mean, Uli Sig has two big things coming up out of his collection. There's one big show in where's the show, the big one? When is it going to happen? The one in Switzerland, the exhibition of Uli.
Switzerland?
Yeah, when is that coming up, the big exhibition?
Sorry, I don't know.
In the museum? There was a museum show planned, wasn't it? That's the one in Hong Kong. But there was also one in Switzerland.
That was already.
Oh, that was already, so I missed that one. But the big one going to happen is when the museum is built in Hong Kong and his whole collection is going to move to Hong Kong. So it was, let's say, it was his choice to select some new directions he's seeing. They're not only young artists, but they are all artists which refer to the quality of many Chinese artists, which is the technical quality they have and the scale. So there you will see really large works from 4 different artists out of the Sig collection.
And let me tell you that St.Moritz Art Masters is not just here in St.Moritz, but it's all around the valley. And another Chinese exhibition in Zuotz is created by Sylvie Seidlitz. And there will be also an art talk in Zuotz tomorrow, Saturday also. Next again, we don't have just the Focus China, but many, many international remarkable artists like,
for example, Donald Batchelor is sitting next to me. We have some wonderful sculptures in front of the palace of his. We have a really incredible installation of Robert Wilson together with Paul Tech in the French church, which is, in my opinion, it's typical for the project. So I asked Robert Wilson if he would do something with us, a specific installation relate to that, what you see. But then he came up with the idea to integrate Paul Tech in the show because, first of all, they were friends. Paul Tech, as you might know, is dead already. But his idea about art was really a different one. His art has to do with a way of fading away. So he said once, if an art piece lasts 20 years, that's enough for me. So that is the attitude Paul Tech had. But they both were close friends, and Robert Wilson then decided to integrate a piece of Paul Tech in the exhibition. And I think it's a very poetic and very, very, I would say breathtaking installation. So please take your time and see that show as well. Then we have a wonderful show by Jan Fabre, the Belgian performance artist in the Engadine Museum. There we were working with this idea of what we always have to do up here is to do certain interventions in spaces. So we identifying spaces where we could do exhibitions, and then we're proposing them to the artist. And then it's like a ping pong. You're playing forth and back, and the artist says, yes, this works, the other one doesn't work. And the Engadine Museum is a place we have done several shows, and it's a quite interesting installation you can see there of his work.
all the artists are checkable from you on our website, stmoritzartmasters.com. And this year there is also an app. You can download it for free. It's very useful. Please download it. Then the Kempinski is the kingdom of photography. And thanks to Amedeo Turello, that is an amazing photographer and has many relationships with all the big masters of the photography all around the world. And there will be the exhibition, of course, and some photo workshops next week.
So Amadeo is part of the team since the beginning, and we have done a lot of shows with his, and the shows are always coming out of his passion for photography. You can feel that. So we have always great names, but also young positions he's integrating in that shows. So this year we have, for example, Patrick de Marchelier or Joel Majerovic, who also is doing the workshop together with Amadeo, and Steve McCurry, who's more or less every year with us on a certain level. So it's becoming like a family thing, I would say. But Amadeo this year also extended the exhibitions to the Nera Alpina, where we have Steve McCurry with a Chinese topic. We have in the Sovretta house, we have a wonderful show of a Chinese photographer. classical, really good. That also makes the whole Chinese topic round, because we have Liu Qin, for example, in the Kempinski, who is a more photojournalist who really reflects China from the Cultural Revolution until today. So we're trying to give a little taste of what China means, because most of us have no idea what's going on. We always hear enormous projects happening, prices of the artists are getting high, but we need to know definitely much more about this culture than we know. So we're trying to give a little peek of that.
Okay, we already mentioned the art talks, but we have to mention that tomorrow and Sunday will be the time of the Engadin Art Talks in St.Moritz, thanks to Christina Beckler, who invented this unique platform. You have the chance to experience where many artists, designers, curators share opinions and talk. It will start until in the morning and in the afternoon and on Sunday morning, of course.
Exactly. So let's say the Engadin Art Talks is now with us since 3 years. As I said before, what we're trying to build in the region is a platform. We're giving certain institutions or organizations platforms, and the Engadin Art Talk is very much in our favor, because they add something, an aspect which we don't have. It's let's say the really getting deeper into the matter, getting deeper into the art, really have a discussion and an exchange on a theoretical base, but with top protagonists. So the talks are guided by Hans-Ulrich Obrist, the director of the Serpentine Gallery, the head curator, and Beatrice Ruf from the Kunsthalle in Zurich.
And the topic of this year is very charming. It's called Ghosts and the Uncanny. So check it out tomorrow.
By the way, all the curators, I mean, Christina is sitting there, Amadeo sitting there. If you have time or if you want to know more about what their program concerns, please feel free to step up to them and talk to them.
Okay, now let's mention the art walks. That is something unique. We have the possibility to join here in St. Moritz. The tour will start for all of you after the conference. Everybody with his group. We divided people with the languages. And there will be an art shop in the Kempinski, if you want, the photo studio in the Kempinski. And what about the Art Academy? Because the Art Academy is a new of this edition, of this year.
Yes, it is an initiative by Inge Fehlbaum, who also lives up here and is herself very much engaged in the art world through the background of their family. Obviously, they are having the Vitra company. But we help them to establish this platform of the Art Academy, because talking about art academies in this kind of surrounding, we can compare, or something to compare would be the Salzburg Academy, which is built in the early 50s, I think, even. And it is a great opportunity to work with artists in an environment which is so beautiful like here. You can have different kind of topics. This year we have Donald Batchelor invited for a collage class, then there is Kerim Seiler for sculpturing and Andreas Kopp for painting. So that's something we knew we want to offer in the summer and in the winter season together with the Engadin Art Academy.
Perfect. Let me thank again Monsieur Guillaume Ali from Cartier and Mercedes-Benz of the Posthaus Mercedes-Benz that made it possible, that made St. Moritz Art Masters 6th edition possible this year.
Let me say something quick to the sponsors,
okay.
Especially to Cartier and Mercedes. We have realized so many projects with them over the years. This year Mercedes is helping us or is supporting the project we're doing with Fang Li Jun. We do another project with them with a younger artist for their evening. And this continuous support of all the sponsors, I have to say, I cannot say it often enough, the whole festival wouldn't be here, you know? So it's like we are also entering a new phase in the 21st century, in my opinion, where sponsoring and relations between brands and art or the cultural industry are getting tighter, you know? It's not anymore that you have to say, here's the art, here is the brand. There are certain levels they can collaborate and benefit from each other. And without the support of them, we wouldn't be here where we are.
Thank you very much for joining us with this Media Talk press conference. But words are boring, and let's experience the work of art. Everybody with his group. Thank you very much for being here. St. Moritz Art Masters 2013 is officially open. Thank you.